Hello, I'm Healthy Emmie.
And I'm Healthy Dad.
And today we are going to be making a meal that allowed Healthy Dad to release an upward of 50 pounds, would you say?
Yeah, I put on 50.
All right, and he took it right off eating this. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Healthy Emmie. I'm the creator of the Slim on Starch program. I'm a nutritionist and a weight loss specialist. Healthy Dad is slim on starch himself. He went through a tremendous transformation, and today we are in his kitchen. All right, so Healthy Dad has a great cookbook called the Healthy Dad Cookbook, but now we are teasing Healthy Cookbook 2.0 for Dad. So Dad, you're gonna be making something in the future cookbook today.
Yes, sir.
What are we doing?
It's gonna be kind of build your own meal. We're gonna have the Portobello sandwiches. We're gonna have a homemade sauce, peppers and onions, so the combination of any which way you want.
Ooh, this is exciting. Yeah, What's the sauce?
It's a tomato. It's the tomato sauce. It's right
yum.
There. Yep.
Cool.
We're doing Portobello mushrooms, and we're going to do them in the air fryer. So what happens is we're going to take the Portobello mushrooms, and we are going to drizzle them, balsamic vinegar, black pepper, and garlic. Why those three? Because they're the three that I picked. If you have an affinity to something else, feel free to do so. So we're just going to drizzle them nicely.
And I'll say too, we don't really measure in this household, so the cookbooks will have the exact amounts, but what would you say the ratio is, Dad, here?
I would say there's 2 ounces of balsamic vinegar. I would say half a teaspoon of black pepper, and probably 2 teaspoons of garlic powder.
And these are the giant Portobello caps.
Yep. And what we're going to do, this is the first step, the first leg of the journey on tonight's dinner, because we're also going to make French fries in the air fryer. That the potatoes grew in the garden. Mm-hmm. They were in the compost, and Lisa picked them out, and we're having them tonight.
Well, the potatoes that were used to grow these potatoes are from the compost.
They were in the compost.
These potatoes that we aren't eating aren't from the compost.
And then we're also going to have I'll use the term quasi-caramelized peppers and onions, which, you know, when we make Mexi, that is your favorite part of the meal, because I have to double the recipe when you show up.
When I come over, he always has to double the recipe.
Yeah.
For anybody that thinks I don't eat.
So what we're going to do, I've drizzled these, and we're going to take it right over to the air fryer. All right, so the air fryer, we need to open and put the Portobellos in.
Are you putting down any parchment paper?
Nope. Neat, as they say in the booze business. Neat, no ice. And we're going to cook them 400 for 6 minutes, and we're going to see you in 6 minutes. We're going to flip these. Well, you can hear them sizzling. You can take a whiff.
People are going to walk. Oh, it smells so good.
Yeah.
Wow, they look great with no oil.
Well, we're not done yet.
I know, but just even so far, can I just show what they look like right now?
Yep.
So this is what we're twerking with right now. They smell awesome. So the rest of the glaze is going on.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it would be nice if you had a brush, but we don't have one.
No, we did the kitchen. It was a casualty. It's in the great kitchen graveyard in the sky.
It looks so good. Oh, it smells so good.
Back into the air fryer for 6 more minutes.
Mushrooms are great too because they have the umami taste, which people often miss with meat. So that's great. Oh my goodness. All right, Dad, we smell something.
We're at the moment of truth. So we are done. We're done. So what I'm going to do.
Wow.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to just pour out the liquid.
Oh, the smell, I wish there was smell-o-vision.
All right. So
wow.
We are going to just let those sit, because what we're going to do, dinner's not for another 55 minutes. And we're just going to let those sit, and they can ferment and do whatever mushrooms do. You can see in here, I got the fries, the potatoes sitting in water, which will drain before we put them into the air fryer. And what I found is if we soak them in water for a period of time, they really cook up nice and soft. Now, if you like really crispy fries, you got to cut them thinner. and cook them longer.
Yeah.
These, you kind of have some crispiness on the outside, but you get some meat, so to speak. I shouldn't say that, but I don't know what
a little bit softer. The reason why is because the excess starch washes off of it, so they're not going to be as starchy. They're going to be more sort of creamy, soft on the inside.
And this will be interesting because this is really our first go with the air fryer for garden the potatoes that were in the ground 2 weeks ago. We let them cure for 2 weeks.
I tested them. Have you tested them yet? So I tried one and they were state of the art. So I'm really excited about these.
Yeah. Now a trick that I found with fries is you kind of pile them up towards the sides and have a little, almost like a donut. What do they call that with a?
The eye of the storm.
Yeah, like a tornado. What do they call that?
The nucleus.
I'll think of it. Vortex.
That's a registered nurse for you.
And we're going to go 22 minutes. These take a while to cook because I cook. We tend to cook a lot because we like them.
22 minutes at 400?
Yes, but then they go for another 20. A little later on, we go to the good old peppers and onions, which if you watch closely how I get them in the caramelized, I seem to have gotten it down, and that will be in the cookbook 2.0.
Okay. It is now time for something that is very common in healthy households, which is peppers and onions time.
So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to preheat the pot. Is this a pot or a pan? It's a pan. So we're going to preheat it, and when we give it a minute or two, and then we're going to throw the peppers and onions in. And what I do is I cook them on high heat, as high as it can go, for about 5 minutes. And you'll start to see that they caramelize a little bit. And then I will absolutely turn the heat down to medium. And depending upon the water content in the peppers and the onions, I may have to add a little water or I may not. I just keep an eye on it. But that's what we're going to do.
So Healthy Dad makes his own pasta sauce. And do you just want to talk about, because do you make a large amount and do you freeze it?
Yes. When it needs to be made, which, depending upon how much we use, how often we have it, which is usually once, maybe twice a week, we'll use it. And I will cook about a gallon, I'll say. The key is with tomato sauce, it's bitter all by itself. So the secret is carrots and onion. Cook the carrots and onions till they're translucent. Carrots don't really get translucent, but you use the food processor to grind them up, and it almost look like orange sugar. And you cook those first to get them soft. And of course, with the onions, you know what happens when you cook them, they really taste good. That's
great too for people. If you have kids and you're trying to sneak more veggies in, that's awesome.
Oh yeah,
sneaking in with the kids.
You don't tell anybody there's carrots in there.
Yeah, that's like I have a recipe in the Healthy Desserts cookbook, my chocolate cake, which I always make for the holidays. It's made with sweet potato, but I just say, here's chocolate cake, and people love it. I did want to ask you, because something that I really admire is how you're so organized where it'll be 5 o'clock in the morning and you're making dinner all ready for that night.
Yeah.
So this, I walked in this afternoon and everything was all laid out. Do you want to tell us what your day looked like to get you to the point where everything is all chopped up and ready to go?
You mean from when I woke up this morning?
Sure.
Okay, well, I woke up at 5 and had breakfast, got the news of the day, played golf at 6:30. Had to do an errand for my brother over at his house. Came home and rode my bike on the rail trail. Then I went to the Y. Then I came home and Mom and I started talking about how this was going to work. And then I had lunch.
So a running joke in my household is that we don't call it lunch, we call it yunch. And I want you to be in on this healthy family inside joke. So comment the word yunch instead of lunch if you are watching.
What did you have for lunch?
In the new cookbook, the bailout meal. The burrito bean, pinto beans and onions and lettuce and salsa.
That sounds good.
And really, it's the bailout lunch because I wasn't here last night. So
where were you?
I was at the house inspection. So there was, when I'm not here, they starve.
That's what Mom said. We actually just filmed a video and she said I didn't know what I was going to do. Dad wasn't here to cook.
Yeah. So we started talking about it. And, again, what I do is because I have time that I don't want to be rushed. And because I have time, I lay this out. I cut those. I get these ready. I wash them. We make sure the sauce is defrosted, cut the potatoes and get them to soak. And we, so when the time comes that we start this and the actual process of cooking dinner, it's pretty much all laid out. Mm-hmm. And it just makes it so much easier, to coordinate. You say, okay, because you were asking me those questions. What time are we going to start this? What time are we going to start this? What time are we going to start this? And I had all those answers for you.
And I will say something that I learned in my education.
Because they don't take the same time to cook.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Something that I learned in my education courses is that if you want your kids to do a certain task, you don't give the kids 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You would give the kids 7 minutes or 11 minutes. You want to give them some weird number. And what I like about Healthy Dad is he'll say, dinner is being served at 6:02. Dinner is being started at 5:41. And I want to tell you about that, the viewer, because if you are having trouble getting started or, I want to make something healthy for dinner tonight, but you can't actually put it into motion, set a time, set a 6:17 that you're doing this to make it happen.
Yep.
I heard the magic beep.
We've been talking for 6 minutes. All right. So the peppers and onions are caramelized to perfection. Yeah. And I'm going to actually vent those a little bit. Fries out of the garden, cooked to perfection. And what we're going to do now, and we've got the homemade sauce, portobello mushrooms. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go with some portobello mushrooms. And I'm going to go with the sauce. And then I'm going to throw in some peppers and onions. And that, my friend, is almost complete. A pickle. And fries. There you go. Jealous? Done.
To learn more about the Slim on Starch program, head over to healthyemmie.org. You can get a free meal plan there. You can learn about my coaching program, or you can get some cookbooks.